everybody, and welcome to today's video. Today is a big day in the kitchen. I'm going to be canning some of my Amish tomatoes. Now these are whole tomatoes, but first I have to get some basil out in the garden. So let's pick some basil and then we'll get started in the video. Now this is the kind of basil we want to harvest today for canning our tomatoes. Alright, since this is going to be a messy job, I better put my apron on. Today we're going to can tomatoes. Now this is the Mennonite and Amish way of doing so. So why do I call it the Amish or Mennonite way? Well, this is how my grandma taught me how to do it, and she was very plain Mennonite. So I'm sure the English people would do it this way too. People that aren't Amish are considered English. Now in some Amish communities they shun the English very much. They won't even speak to them. While other Amish communities, they really embraced the English people and they became friends with them. There's so much to learn about the Amish, and there's so many different kinds of Amish. And Amish in Ohio are totally different than the Amish that I grew up with in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So the Pennsylvania Amish and the Ohio Amish, they're so different. And there's Amish also in Canada as well. A lot of the Amish are migrating up north, and they're also going to other countries. So the Amish are leaving areas because of so much persecution in different ways. And we won't get into all of that right now in this video because we are going to can tomatoes. Well, let me show you how I'm going to do it. I already took the tomatoes and I took the skins off them, and I'm going to show you here how I did all that. Whole tomatoes are great to have in different casseroles and soups, and it's just nice to have a different variety of tomatoes. Now I'm going to be canning a lot. There is a lot of tomatoes. I did about a bushel of them. I've been harvesting my tomatoes every 2 days and I'm just about finished with them. People have seen in previous videos my tomatoes and they wondered where they all went. Well, I harvested them. So what I would tend to do is harvest them all around the same time. I also will pick some green and then I will put them in newspaper until they ripen. All right, let me show you here with the camera what exactly I'm doing, and then I'll turn the camera off for about an hour because this is going to take me a long time. All right, so what we're doing is we're putting the whole tomatoes in the jars, and then we push down on it because we want to make sure you have liquid. The liquid has to cover everything. Now back in the day, the Amish and the Mennonites, the ones I knew of anyhow, canned it just like this. But my friend like Sadie Miller, she uses the bay leaves now. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use bay leaves. Now this would be the Italian way of doing it, but the Amish take great pride in their canning. And they like to have things looking pretty. I mean, have you seen all of the different pantries, the Amish pantries, pictures of them? So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to put some basil in each jar, probably only about 3 or 4 leaves. And I'm going to do this before I fill them up. And we really want to push these down because they really will cook down. And before I fill it up the whole way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some other ingredients. Now this is my homemade salt. This is a coarse salt that I'm going to add. Now you don't have to add any of these ingredients. You can just have them plain. And that's how Grandma Fanny would have done it. We're going to use a teaspoon of salt. And a tablespoon of my Mrs. Dash that's homemade, which I have lots of videos on that as well. Now we're going to go up and continue to fill it, pushing down. And one last thing I'm going to do, which I was not taught to me, was to add a tablespoon of lemon juice to quart. The lemon juice adds more acid to it because they claim in today's tomatoes they're not as acid, which that's just something precautionary because I'm water bathing these, but Grandma Fanny would have never done that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill all these jars, and then I'll show you when the jars are filled. My grandma's old canner. We're going to go ahead and fill it up with water. Now this is the canner I used to can food outside in a fire. So it's in really bad shape, but this was my grandma's. So this is at least 50 years old, this canner. We're going to fill this up with water, and then we're going to turn it on and start canning. When I peeled the tomatoes, it gave a lot of juice, and so this is the juice I saved from the tomatoes. Now we're just going to go ahead and fill the jars up to the rim. We're going to go ahead and fill the jars up if they're lacking any liquid. And of course, you're going to debubble. This is my first batch. I have another batch to make. I'm going to get this started, and then I'll make the other batch off the camera, and then I'll show you what all of them look like when we're finished. The basil's going to stay a nice green color because it is in the liquid and it is canned in the water bath. We eat a lot of tomato products, and you'll be seeing, if you haven't yet, a lot of tomato videos. Yesterday I was working all day on broccoli. Oh my word, that was a long day. I froze about 10 gallons of broccoli. All right, we're gonna wipe our rims, put our lids on, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. This is the foundation how Grandma Fanny taught me how to can tomatoes. Also added my herbs and added my own salt to it. Now Grandma Fanny would have done the same way without all those things, and I think if she was living today, she would love the added ingredients to it. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope that you can some tomatoes this year, because you never know what's gonna happen during the winter time, and food could become scarce once again. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll show you the end result of this canning video. Bye, everybody. Hey, if you like this video, can you do me one big favor? Can you make sure you give me a thumbs up? Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.